Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Check the Post Rescue Nation, brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. Today I'm joined by sophomore defensive lineman for the Huskers, Mr. Casey Rogers. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, thanks for joining me. Plenty to talk about. Lots happened last week. We're looking at Wisconsin coming up this Saturday for this week. So I just got to ask, looking back to last week a little bit, obviously you're on the defensive side of the ball, but talk to me a little bit. A shakeup in the staff, albeit on the other side of the ball, but what's been your reaction? What's been the team's reaction to some changes being made in the staff?
Yeah, no, it was a tough week seeing those guys go. You know, a lot of those, or three of those guys have been with us since Frost took over here. So it's always hard to lose part of the family. And you know, I know the guys who were in those position groups were really bummed out. But unfortunately, that's just kind of the business that they're in. You know, I wish them the best of luck, and you know, it's tough. You know, my family just went through it with my dad, and you know, it's a pretty stressful situation. So I wish them the best with them and their families. But I think the guys, you know, this week their reaction was pretty good. You know, they came out, the offensive line, the offense in general, came out firing. They looked really good. They kind of put that behind them, and they're now looking forward to playing Wisconsin.
So we all know that Frost is going to be back next year, okay? So what was Frost's message to the team, you know, after it was made known that he was coming back, some of these changes were going to happen? What was Frost's message to the team last week during the bye week?
You know, it was just kind of, you know, now we know what's going to happen. We have clarity. And then, you know, let's use this bye week to, you know, better ourselves. And, you know, I think he did a really good job of keeping us focused. You know, it's a tough situation. You know, like I said earlier, you got guys who just lost a coach that they've been here with their entire career. So, you know, Frost did a pretty good job of keeping us focused. You know, it's with a tough situation. And, you know, we had a pretty good couple practices last week, and now he's just keeping our heads forward to Wisconsin. You know, it's a trophy game. So it's a big game. And we're excited to have this opportunity to go out there and play Wisconsin.
Talk to me about Coach Tuioti. I've had the chance to chat with him a couple of times. Even asked him a couple questions. You know, I coach a sixth grade football team. I'm like, hey, man, what would you do here against this offense? So he's always been good to me. So talk to me about the D-line coach, Tony Tuioti. And at this point, keeping the defensive coaching staff intact. Hopefully we're able to do that. So talk to me about how that's probably got to put your guys' mind at ease a little bit on defense and playing for a guy like Tony Tuioti.
Yeah, no, Coach T is, you know, the ultimate coach. He's a father figure to a lot of us. You know, he's a genius when it comes to football, you know, and he's a great coach and a great teacher. You know, he makes playing D-line fun. I personally love coming to work for him every day, you know, and I take a lot of pride in being a Coach Tuioti's player. You know, it's a very relieving knowing that, you know, the defensive side of the ball will be staying together, just because, you know, how well we've been producing this year. You know, and just, you know, anytime you get to have another year with Coach Tuioti, it's a blessing to have him as a coach. So we're all excited. The D-line room is, you know, Coach Tuioti has helped, you know, make a culture in that D-line room, and it's a very healthy culture, and I'm very proud to be his player.
The D-line's play has improved from a year ago. Talk to me about what you attribute that improvement to. Also, who are the leaders in that defensive line room?
Yeah, I think you know, that goes back to Coach T. You know, we always watch our games and we watch our film, and we always think, what can we do better? You know, there's good, there's better, and then there's best. And I think anytime we look at anything we do on film, we're always he's always asking, it's good, what could you do to make it better? And then what could you do to make it your best? And you know, that's something we did all year, all summer. You know, we did a lot of skill-specific training in the weight room. I think that helped a lot too. And you know, I think the good thing about our D-line room is a lot of the older guys are leaders, but you know, I think we just really we all hold each other accountable. I mean, I think it's obvious that you got Damian, a captain, and you got Ben still a veteran. Those two guys are, you know, you got to look up to those guys as a captain and a veteran. But the good thing is the D-line, you know, does a really good job of holding everyone accountable in that room. And it could be me holding Ty holding me accountable. It can go both ways. So I think that's one of the really cool things about the culture we have in the D-line room is that, you know, we don't really have situations where where things get out of hand because we can handle it in the room.
Talk to me, because the defense as an overall whole has been the one consistent thing for the Huskers this year, probably the strongest unit out of the offense, defense, special teams. Talk to me about the biggest difference from last year to this year as an overall whole on that defensive side of the ball, and what you attribute that to.
Yeah, I think it was huge that we got everyone back last year, for the most part, and then we just have a whole nother year under our belt. I think it was that whole year made the guys who were pretty young playing in the system last year, for example, Ty and I, it gave us a whole nother year to develop and develop even more and, get used to the game speed and stuff like that. So I just think it's a combination of, having guys back and then having a whole nother year under our belt. And then, just building off of last year, we knew we had a really good year last year. We wanted to make it better. So I think that's a huge contribution to that. And, but yeah, no, we take a lot of pride in playing blackshirt defense. And, that's kind of what we come at every game with. We got to play like blackshirts every day, every practice, every game, every snap.
So Wisconsin was struggling a little bit early on this year. They kind of found their way. In my opinion, they were trying to pass the ball way too much, which to me was kind of odd from a Wisconsin team that's known for power football, running the ball, playing defense. Then they finally started playing power football, running the ball, and playing defense, and they've been a different team since. So talk to me about the key to stopping Wisconsin's run game, their power game, and their offense in general.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you play Wisconsin, you're going against big offensive linemen, big physical guys. So the first thing that sticks out about a game like this is you got to be physical in the trenches. And, that's a challenge that we love as a D-line. They're going to try to run the ball down our throats, and we're just not going to let that happen, So that's one part. And then, we got to make them throw the ball too. We saw earlier in the year, they struggled a little bit with throwing the ball. So obviously that's not one of their strong suits. So, we want them to force them to do that. So, so you got to stop the run first, as always, and then, force them to throw the ball and get the quarterback.
So I'm curious, because most defensive linemen, I think, would give the same answer, but some defensive linemen would give a different answer to this. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts? What's the most challenging block to take on? A double team or a side-to-side zone block where they're trying to position block you out of your gap?
I think it really depends on who you are. But and the type of player you are, but I would say a double team. That's 600 pounds of body, on you. But the good thing about that is Coach T teaches us and coaches us the right technique to be able to defeat those. So if you are an elite D lineman, it shouldn't really matter what block you get. But yeah, I would say a double team. For sure. Yeah,
I think 99% of linemen would say a double team. So what is that technique? Because I've seen all sorts of different techniques that are taught, from taking a knee to pulling through to doing whatever. So what have you guys been taught as far as taking on the double team that's helped you with taking those blocks on?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, that's the player himself. I think some guys like that taking a knee thing because it just gets you low and it gives you leverage to go through. And it also depends on the type of double team too. If you're getting a scoop block where they're tagging you to try to get to the next linebacker, sometimes that we're taught to attack the post, attack the guy who your man on is, who your man on key is. So it depends on what the situation is. But yeah, there's a lot of techniques that we're taught to defeat those double teams, and then when it happens, it's just it's natural to us. So. But yeah, there's a couple techniques that you can use.
All right, man, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me. Good luck on Saturday versus Wisconsin. And until next time, Husker Nation, go Big Red, and always remember,
throw the bones.
Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.